If you're in a relationship, then you need to hear this. According to the Gottman Institute, 85% of couples feel unheard in their own relationship. The World Health Organization states that the one reason couples break up isn't cheating, it's miscommunication.
David and I used to argue all the time. It felt like we were speaking different languages.
I thought I was being clear, but Lisa always seemed to misunderstand me.
Miscommunication can create a rift between partners, but it doesn't have to be the end. Global relationship studies show that effective communication can save marriages. In this video, we'll explore how David and Lisa saved their marriage through the power of communication. David and Lisa were high school sweethearts. Their love story was the stuff of envy, filled with stolen glances, shared dreams, and a bond that seemed unbreakable. They navigated the challenges of young adulthood together, supporting each other through university, first jobs, and the excitement of building a life together. In the beginning, their communication was effortless. They understood each other's unspoken thoughts and could spend hours lost in conversation, their laughter echoing into the night. As the years passed, the demands of life began to chip away at their once effortless communication. David, a driven and ambitious architect, poured himself into his work, often coming home late and exhausted. Lisa, a talented writer with a passion for nurturing others, felt increasingly neglected and unimportant. She longed for the days when they would stay up late, sharing their hopes and dreams. Now, their conversations revolved around grocery lists, bills, and who would pick up the dry cleaning. As the distance between them grew, so did their resentment. David, feeling pressured and unappreciated, retreated further into his work. He saw Lisa's attempts to connect as nagging and criticism. Lisa, feeling unheard and unseen, grew increasingly frustrated. She longed for David to understand her emotional needs, but her attempts to express them were often met with silence or dismissive responses. One evening, after another long day at work, David came home to find Lisa visibly upset. She had spent the day working on a writing project that was particularly close to her heart, only to have her computer crash, erasing hours of work. She needed David's support, a listening ear, and a warm embrace. Instead, she was met with a tired sigh and a distracted, "That's frustrating, honey. Have you tried restarting it?"
Is that all you have to say? I lost hours of work and all you can say is restart it.
Look, I'm exhausted. Can this wait until tomorrow?
The argument escalated, filled with hurtful words and accusations neither truly meant. That night they slept in separate rooms, the silence deafening. Section 4. A New Language of Love. Lisa's Journey to Understanding. The fight was a wake-up call for Lisa. She realized that they had fallen into a dangerous pattern of miscommunication. She loved David deeply and she knew he loved her too, but somewhere along the way they had forgotten how to speak each other's language.
Determined to save our marriage, I began researching communication techniques. I stumbled upon the Gottman Institute and was immediately drawn to their research on the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling.
As she read through the descriptions, she was struck by how accurately they described her and David's communication patterns. She realized that their arguments weren't about the dry cleaning or the computer crash. They were about deeper, unmet needs for connection, appreciation, and understanding.
Armed with this new knowledge, I decided to approach things differently. Instead of criticizing David, I focused on expressing my needs and feelings in a calm and loving way. I made a conscious effort to listen to him without interrupting, trying to understand his perspective even when it differed from my own.
Section 5. Rebuilding their bond, one conversation at a time. At first, David was taken aback by Lisa's change in communication. He was so used to their pattern of conflict that he didn't know how to respond to her newfound openness and vulnerability.
But Lisa persisted, gently guiding me towards a more positive and productive way of communicating. She encouraged me to express my own needs and feelings, assuring me that she was there to listen without judgment.
Slowly but surely, their conversations began to shift. They started having regular date nights where they would put away their phones and truly connect with each other. They made a conscious effort to express appreciation for the little things they did for each other. They learned to fight fair, focusing on understanding each other's perspectives, rather than trying to win the argument.
It wasn't always easy. There were times when we slipped back into old patterns, but we learned to recognize our triggers and communicate our needs more effectively.
Over time, their bond grew stronger, their love deepened, and their communication became a source of strength and intimacy, rather than conflict and pain. David and Lisa's story is a testament to the power of communication in a relationship. It's a reminder that even the most loving couples can fall into destructive patterns of communication. But with effort, understanding, and a willingness to change, They can learn to speak each other's language and build a love that lasts a lifetime. What are your experiences with communication in your relationships? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might just inspire someone else.